If you've ever felt like the world of crypto is just impossibly complicated, you are definitely not alone. So, we're going to break it all down. And the key isn't some wild algorithm, it's actually something we all use every single day: money. To really get crypto, we have to first understand what money is all about. It seems like a super simple question, right? I mean, money is the bills in your wallet or the number you see in your banking app. But that's just what money is, not what it does. And that difference, well, that's where everything starts. You see, money isn't just paper or metal. At its core, it's a system, an agreement that we all buy into that does three very specific jobs. If you can get your head around these three functions, you're honestly halfway to understanding the entire world of finance. Okay, first up, it's a medium of exchange. So imagine you're a baker and you need a haircut. You'd have to find a barber who just happens to want a loaf of bread right now. That's called the double coincidence of wants, and it's a huge pain. Money fixes this. It's the universal go-between. You sell your bread for money, and then you can use that money to buy anything from anyone. It's the bridge that makes the whole economy work. Second, and this is a really powerful idea, money is a store of value. It lets you capture the work you do today and save it for tomorrow, or next year, or even for retirement 30 years from now. It's what makes long-term planning even possible. Of course, this function can break down. If you have crazy high inflation, the value you stored yesterday is worth less today. So stability is absolutely key here. And finally, it's a unit of account. Just think of money as the economy's measuring tape. The price of a car, your salary, a company's budget, it's all measured in the same unit, like dollars or euros. This shared language of value is what lets us make sense of it all. Without that common measuring stick, planning would be a nightmare. And you know what? Let's be real. For most of us, most of the time, this system, run by banks and governments, it works pretty well. It's familiar, it's mostly reliable, and it gets the job done. But have you ever stopped to think about what's holding this whole thing together? What's the invisible foundation that, if you pulled it out, would make the whole thing crumble? The answer is one simple word: trust. We trust that the bank will keep our money safe. We trust the government won't just print it into oblivion. We trust that the payment networks will send our money where it needs to go. The entire thing, it's all built on trusting middlemen. And this is where things start to get really interesting, because when a system is built on trust, it also creates dependency. And that dependency is the very problem that crypto was designed to solve. Think about it. We don't just trust one company. We trust a whole chain of them. Your bank, Visa or MasterCard, the government, and even the internal policies of these corporations. And each one is a potential point of failure. An account can be frozen, a payment can be blocked, a system can go down. You need their permission, and you're at the mercy of their rules and their stability. And that brings us right to crypto. So for a second, forget the idea of magic internet money. It's not about that. It's better to think of it as a technological experiment to build a financial system that needs way, way less trust in those powerful middlemen. The big idea here is to swap out trust for verification. See, in the old system, a bank keeps the ledger, the book of who owns what, and it's private. You have to trust they got it right. In crypto, the ledger is public. It's shared across thousands of computers. So instead of trusting one company, anyone can check the math for themselves. The system is run by code that everyone can see, not by some company's private policy. So this really gets us to the heart of the matter. We can basically boil down the entire financial world into two competing models: the centralized one we've used for centuries, and this new decentralized model that crypto brings to the table. First, you've got the bank style, centralized. It's simple. One company, like a bank or a payment app, is in charge. They control everything, they make the rules, they are the final authority. And then you've got the blockchain style, decentralized. In this world, there is no single boss. The network is maintained by a whole bunch of independent people and their computers, who all agree to follow the same set of rules. Now, each of these models has some serious pros and cons. Centralized systems, they give you a safety net. You've got customer support. You can reverse a fraudulent charge. It's easy. But that convenience comes with a catch. They're gatekeepers who can shut you out. Decentralized systems give you all that control back. Anyone can use it and no one can stop your transaction. But the trade-off is huge. You have total responsibility. If you lose your password, your private key, there is no 1-800 number to call. Your money is just gone forever. And that right there is the core choice. It all boils down to this: what do you value more? A system built for convenience and safety nets, or one built for independence and the ability to verify everything yourself? There's really no wrong answer here. It's just a fundamental difference in philosophy.
Of course, we can't passively have this conversation without talking about the absolutely wild price swings. But what you need to know is that this volatility isn't just random chaos. It's actually a structural part of the system right now, mainly because it's all so new.
So why these insane swings? Well, a few big reasons. First, the market is just young and it's trying to figure out what any of this stuff is actually worth. It's also easily swayed by hype, headlines, and news about regulations. But maybe the biggest factor, the real gasoline on the fire for those spectacular crashes, is something called leverage. So here's how that works. When traders use leverage, they're basically using borrowed money to make bigger bets. It's risky. If the price starts to drop, their positions get automatically sold off to pay back their loan. But all of that forced selling pushes the price down even more, which then triggers the next group of leveraged traders to get sold off, pushing the price down again. It's a domino effect, this vicious downward spiral called a liquidation cascade, and it's why crypto crashes can be so incredibly fast and brutal. Okay, let's just zoom out and bring this all home. We started by seeing that money is really just a tool that does three basic jobs. The traditional financial system we all know uses trust in other people and institutions to get those jobs done, and that gives us convenience. Crypto is an attempt to do the same three jobs using verification and math, which gives us independence. And the choice between them really comes down to what you value more, a safety net or complete self-sovereignty. Which leaves us with the billion-dollar question, right? Is this whole crypto thing a true redesign of finance for the internet age? Or is it just a fascinating but ultimately too volatile experiment? The truth is, nobody knows for sure. The market, the developers, and governments all over the world are trying to figure that out right now. But now, hopefully, you have a much better framework to think about it for yourself.